You're listening to I Went to a Singles Night, where real people who came along tell us anonymously exactly what it was like, the nerves, surprises, the awkward bits, and everything in between. This week, I was absolutely terrified, but I found someone and we've had 4 lovely dates. So I am joined by a lovely gentleman who's been to our speed dating event and our karaoke singles night recently. And he's kindly agreed to come on because he's found somebody and has started his dating journey after just 2 events. And I thought that he would have some useful information to share about how he approached the events, because it really was very what I would call best practice. And also we're going to chat a little bit about why online dating was a little bit more tricky and why he would recommend coming along and trying out the events. So welcome.
Hello.
Firstly, congratulations on finding somebody and starting that dating journey. How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. We've got another date planned for tonight. And I think we're 4 dates in now.
Wow, isn't it exciting?
It is.
So tell everyone then about how you felt before your first speed dating event and what you'd kind of decided for yourself before you came along.
Yeah, so I was absolutely terrified before my first one. I don't know if you remember, but I called you from the car park.
I did.
I was unsure if I was in the right place. So I had a mild anxiety attack outside. But yeah, you guys welcomed me, made me feel comfortable. The staff are brilliant at these events. So
Thank you.
I approached the first one with the mindset that I wanted to come and have good interactions and good conversations, not necessarily find love immediately. Because I think if you set the expectation that if I go and I don't find love, I'm a failure in some way, or I'm not ideal enough or attractive enough, or my personality sucks, or you can go down this rabbit hole of just self-doubt. So I set myself the task of having good conversations, being as honest about who I am and as true to me. And if I can have an honest conversation with somebody, I always feel like I have a much better chance of connecting with somebody than if I'm on a dating app and just swiping based on looks.
Oh,
Which is what
yes.
most people do.
Yeah, I think like that's a really good approach. And a lot of people do come along very much thinking they have to meet the one on that first event, and it hinders their interactions, because I say ladies can smell desperation a mile off.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that. Like it becomes performative, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
if you're trying to achieve this one specific thing, it feels like everything you do is a performance to get to that rather than them meeting the genuine version of you.
Yeah, and
And
also isn't that rushing things if you want to lock in a relationship by going speed dating?
it feels like it. Yeah, it feels like you're skipping a few steps. It feels like because normally, like if you meet somebody outside, you speak to them for a little bit, but you don't just say date Sunday.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
you have a
exactly.
conversation. You talk about something you have in common. Like they'll notice my tattoo, or I'll notice their band T-shirt, and we'll have a conversation about it, and then it'll lead to.
That's it.
So having those 4 minutes to just sit with somebody and have an honest conversation is brilliant. It
Yeah.
really helps for people like me that value connection and chemistry and talking. You can tell within the first minute of sitting there if that person has a bit of chemistry with you or a connection or you have a shared thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
it's really
often
good.
hear like, "Oh my God, only 4 minutes." I'm like, trust me, 4 minutes will feel like a very long time with the wrong person, and it'll feel like hardly enough time with the right person. And that's how you know if you're hurrying for them to get out of that seat, you know it isn't the one. Or if you're like, "Oh, I would have
Yeah,
just liked to have another," like, that's when you go, "All right, coffee date," because
yeah,
that person, if they're also feeling that, then that's where you take it outside of the speed dating. When you match.
yeah, yeah. That's very true. Like you can tell when you get the thing saying when you like come over the microphone and say your 4 minutes is up, and you have a minute then to like write on your card and things. The connections that you found that were mutual, you carry on talking through that whole minute at the end,
Yes. Yeah.
and you can tell straight away. Or there's just reserved silence where you're writing on your sheet, and you
Yeah.
know that it happened. You can kind of get a gauge for it, but
Let me explain that for people who haven't been. So after 4 minutes, we ring a bell and say, right, you now have 1 minute to make your notes. That's because you've got up to 18 dates in one evening. So you may go home and forget who was who. Now during that 1 minute, you are absolutely right. That's such a great observation. Some people will sit there and make notes because they're like, not necessarily interested. Or some people just like to do the notes bit. And then other people just talk all the way through that minute. And then when I say, right, time to move on, they're like frantically scribbling. I'm like, no, you've had your minute. Get out of that seat and move on. So
yeah,
you can kind of see from my perspective as the organizer, I'm like, oh, okay, that probably went well. Then so
yeah,
yeah, you're so right about that. That's such an interesting observation.
yeah. You can definitely get a vibe for it straight away.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you can tell if an interaction is going well when you're in the interaction, but when it officially ends, when the bell rings,
Yeah.
like you get a sense of how they felt about it by how interactive they still are. So it's a really good gauge of whether your intuition's right. So
Very
yeah, I really
sneaky.
liked it.
Yeah. Very
Yeah,
Machiavellian. I like it. So just you also came to a karaoke, didn't you? So
I did.
how
I volunteered.
oh yeah, and you helped out.
Yeah,
But then I sent you in. I was like, go, go, go
yeah,
meet women. Um, how did you find the differences between those two? Because some people only like speed dating, some people like both, some people only like social events.
yeah. So when I was first looking for an event to go to, I was drawn to the karaoke first, but I felt that because it said between 80 and 120 people, my brain immediately went, wow, that's a lot of people. I'm gonna pan if I get into that room and know nobody,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just sit in a corner with my anxiety and not talk to anybody.
Oh,
So
bless you.
so I decided, right, I'll go to a speed dating event first because it's much quieter, much more low key, much more structured, if you like.
Yes, that's it.
Um, and then once I'd been to that event, yeah, immediately I was like, what's the next one? What?
Oh,
So yeah,
happens. Yeah. And then you asked
yeah,
if you could help out on check-in.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you were
Um,
great.
that was actually really helpful because I met everyone sort of as they were coming in.
Yeah.
Um, so everyone got a little bit of my personality, if you like. So
Yeah.
when I went into the room, I wasn't as anxious about walking up with the card and saying, do you match anything on my icebreaker card?
Yeah.
Or like people who I'd had an interaction with, um, I carried on that interaction when I got in the room. So there were some people that came in who I was explaining the icebreaker bingo card to, and I was saying, well, you can put me down for that one for blue eyes, but I'll come and find you later, and you can
Yeah.
see if you match anything on my card too, kind of thing.
We gave you a
Um,
sneaky little way in, didn't we, with every single lady. So let me just explain to people who haven't been. We always have like a way of getting you speaking to each other. So on this particular event, it was find the guest bingo. So you're given a bingo card and it's got about 9 to 12 different points that you have to go and find. So it'll be find someone who's got the same eye color as you, find someone who's wearing multicolored socks, find someone who's got a dog, find someone who's got two children, things like that. And then it's your job to go around and find a different name for every item on the card. So that was this person's job to explain that to people on the way in. So yeah, it gave you an opportunity to have some really good chats already, kind of see who you like and who you were vibing with. So that
yeah,
worked for you, didn't it?
it did.
Eh? This is where you met your current lady that you're getting to know.
It is, yeah. She said she noticed me when she first came in,
Love that.
obviously because I'm quite her type, apparently. Um,
Okay, I see that.
I noticed her too because she's
Mhm.
definitely my type. Um, and then I walked into the room and I was going around with my card, and she was actually really proactive. She came up to me
Yeah.
and said, "You're exactly my type."
Wow,
And
very
I was like,
confident.
okay, okay. I was not expecting. yeah, it panicked me a little bit. I'm not used to being approached like that, but
Oh,
I
that
didn't expect
confidence
to
though.
meet. Yeah, very confident.
Sexy.
I
Yeah.
didn't expect to meet somebody like that. I didn't expect necessarily to meet somebody that was sort of my vibe, sort of very alternative, very like open and honest kind of thing. So yeah,
What a
it was a bit of
nice.
a shock.
So in terms of your approach to that event then before you came
Yeah.
along, what were you did that differ in how you approached the speed date? Because
Um,
you knew what you were coming into
yeah.
kind of?
Yeah, I was a little bit more familiar with the environment. Obviously, I knew you guys. I knew I was volunteering, so I was going to be in a different mode for the first bit of the night. Um, and I was still nervous when I went into the big room
Mm.
because I'm not great with big crowds of people. Um, I don't know if you noticed when I was singing karaoke, I didn't look out at the crowd at all. I just stayed looking at the monitor.
Well, you still did it though. That takes
I
a lot of
still got up
balls.
and sang them.
So good on you.
I'm actually upset I didn't get up and sing more. So
Ah, well, no, there won't be a next time. Never mind. You'll have to go find
hopefully not.
another karaoke thing
Yeah.
outside of here.
Hopefully. But yeah, so my approach differed because there was less structure. It was more on me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so the icebreaker really, the bingo card really helped because if I didn't have that reason to walk up to somebody,
Yeah.
I might have just shrunk into a corner and because that's my thing, right? If I'm uncomfortable, I'll sit somewhere where I can see the room and I will play it over and over in my head and tell myself I'm an idiot and I should go talk to people and
Oh,
then not. So because I'm
happens.
quite anxious socially a lot of the
Yeah.
time. So even though I come across quite confident, I'm
Do you
not. I am terrified all the time about
but
social interaction.
so you
So
did it anyway in spite of feeling, "Oh my
yeah.
god, I'm terrified."
Yeah, I think the card definitely helped because it gave me a
Good.
reason to walk up and approach. And then once I'm talking to somebody, I'm absolutely fine. It's that initial, do I
Yeah.
have permission to talk to this person? Is this person having a terrible day? Am I a burden by asking them a question
And
kind
I
of thing?
suppose inside an event, you're with people who are open to having conversations, but
Yeah.
this isn't something you perhaps would do outside of an event?
No, no, definitely not. Um, yeah, it helps that you're in an environment where everyone is there to connect with people, to talk to people, to enjoy karaoke, to like everyone's there for a similar purpose, if not the same purpose. So
Yeah.
it it takes away a level of the anxiety that you would have if you were just approaching at a bar or speaking to somebody on a bus or wherever it happens to be. I don't know where dating in the real world happens. Uh,
When you're checking out someone's, basket in a supermarket, say, "Are you
yeah,
shopping for one?" Where's your
yeah.
wedding ring?
Person's buying olives, they're not for me.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. I couldn't agree more. So, yeah, I think that's a really valid point. And also, like, if somebody's, I always say this, if somebody's sat on their own at one of the events, just go up to them. If you're a man, go up to a man and chat. If you're, it's not about you're definitely hitting on someone. It's like we're in a social setting. People
Yeah,
are on their own in various ways, and they'll really appreciate the chat, even if it's just, a guy going up to a guy and going, "Oh my god, how are you getting on? Like, should we kind of buddy up?" It's
yeah,
we're not it's not about, oh, this person's my competition, because that's not,
no,
no, because ladies rarely like, two very different people in my experience so far. They tend to have a kind of vibe that they're going for.
yeah.
It'd just be
I
nice.
think I think women are definitely better at that part than men are.
Oh, you're
Women are
so right.
definitely better at sharing their experience of what's going on and who they like and what they've heard and seen
Yeah.
and felt. Blokes tend to congregate in the same area, but all talk about one specific thing. Like you'll find a topic that's safe to talk about, and then we'll just talk about that. So yeah,
Well, the weather's
we're
been
not
providing the
yeah
weather's been providing you with some really good content lately.
yeah yeah we don't tend to explore how the other person feels about a situation. We just say hi mate, how are you? Yeah, I'm all right. You? Yeah, I'm good. You enjoying it? Yeah, it's good. But there's no depth after that. It's just
Oh, that's
this
such a
person.
shame.
Yeah, like, and obviously there's exceptions to the rule, right? Not every bloke's like that, but
Yeah, of
for the
course.
most part, we're less likely to share how we feel about something with a stranger or with somebody that we don't know very well.
Yeah,
So
there are definitely differences in the
yeah, so
way men
I
and the
think
ladies
women
interact.
excel in that a lot more than men do, because in my experience, women are much better at saying, How was it? Like, why did you feel like?" Women are just more curious, I think, by nature.
Yeah, we're
So
nosy.
yeah, they
Even before this call, I was like, right, tell me the real juicy gossip first. Like get that out of the way so I know what's going on. That's what we're like.
uh,
Shropshire's biggest secret keeper, me. I am. Oh, so
I could do that.
let's talk about how online dating compares to be, because online dating's got its benefits. I'm not slagging it off. It
Yeah,
has. And it works for some people, but for the majority of people, they get kind of fatigued from it all. So just sort of before you found the events, were you online dating?
yeah.
Tell me about that.
Um, so it definitely has bonuses. It has good reasons to do it. So online dating opens you up to a much higher volume, if you like, of people.
Mm,
There's a much broader spectrum in general, but it feels like you're not only are you competing with people, you're competing with a much larger section of people as well.
mm,
So online dating feels like there's a percentage of people who are maybe slightly more attractive or slightly more affluent or something like that, and it feels like they get a lot of attention in that space, and people who, like me, are a good six don't. We get lost in the shuffle a little bit, right? So it feels like there's this disconnect because people will look at a picture, not necessarily read your profile, because everyone's
mm,
busy, everyone's doing something. People want to swipe and then swipe the next one and the
yeah.
next one and the next one. They don't want to stay reading my profile for 5 minutes to figure out who I am. They
Yes.
just want to see, do I have this initial attraction to this person? Yes, in that case, I'll read their profile.
Yes.
So it filters out a lot of people who might be perfect for you, but they're not aesthetically what you want
Yeah.
necessarily. But what I've found when I've been dating is that if you're waiting for like the perfect ideal aesthetically, you miss out on so many good people.
Yeah.
And I think that's where speed dating is different, because I get to sit down with somebody and they get to see me, not the picture of me that I took 2 months ago while I was shopping or whatever it happens to be.
Or in some people's
So
cases, 10 years ago.
yeah, yeah, and that's the other side of it, right? Speed dating feels like, because it's this competitive area, it feels like people are far more likely to write something on their profile that's not necessarily a lie, but it's an embellishment or an exaggeration, or it's a photo that they've curated and is taken from a certain angle with certain lighting, and they're holding things in and pushing things out, and then it's just not as real.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a simulation of dating rather than actually dating. So for me, I feel like I can have success, and I have dated people who I've met um, through dating apps and things, but it feels like with speed dating you get a hint or a flavor of who that person is,
Yeah.
instead of getting a picture of what they look like,
Yeah.
which could be not not at all what they look like when you meet them.
Yeah.
So
And there are
yeah,
more things than the way someone looks that make them attractive, right?
100%.
Like the
Yeah,
little
I
way
mean,
they laugh and the jokes they make and the way
yeah,
their lips like maybe move, or their eyes, the way they stare at you. Like so much
yeah,
more than you get from a picture, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's like they're the things that attract me to people. It's like the little quirks, or their opinion on something, or
Yeah.
the way they laugh, or the way they move within a room or a social situation, or just how they are as a person is far more attractive than the shell that they come in, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, for me it feels, I don't want to slag off online dating, because it has its space, it has a
Yeah.
use, but it does feel like it feels like everyone is performing to win a date
Yeah.
rather than exploring to find love.
Yeah. Being
So
themselves, because you can't
yeah,
hide in a room when you're in a room. You can hide behind
yeah,
a screen, and you've got
yeah,
time to think about your replies, and they can be, like you say, curated into like perfection, and you're showing only what you want people to see right from the beginning.
yeah. That's it. It exaggerates the need to get everything right, so you can delete and resend your messages. You can
Yeah.
spend time to think about. Whereas when you're speed dating, if somebody asks you a question that you have to think on the spot. So you have to either be really good at making things up exactly where you are,
Yeah.
or that they get to see the real you, basically,
Well,
and they
that
should
works for
be.
you.
And
It
it did
works
work
for
for
you,
me.
my love. So, for the men, minute, for the men out there, share your final piece of best advice for them coming to a speed date. 'Cause we've got quite a bit of speed date coming up. Um, what advice can you give them to get them to walk through that door? Put you on the spot,
Um,
I don't know.
I think the thing we touched on at the start, don't go with the intention of finding love. Go with the intention of having a good night out, because the atmosphere is really good at these events.
Thank you.
Have have the intention of having good conversations with people. Um, if romance happens, it is a bonus to a good night. It's not the objective of your night. Um, and just embrace the fact that you're meeting people who are probably in a similar boat to you. They're probably feeling similarly nervous. They're all, like, everyone's there for a similar thing and a similar reason. So don't go there to find forever. Go there to have a good night, have good conversations, and if forever happens, then you're winning across the board. And don't
That
be
is
upset if you don't
great.
get matched. That's not the goal.
That is
That's a
such good
bonus.
advice. Yeah, exactly that. And don't let it affect your self-worth
Yeah, yeah,
if you don't
for
get a
sure.
match on the first event, because there's plenty more events.
Yeah,
So yeah. Oh, lovely. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your story. Good luck with your date, and hope it goes well tonight and into the
yeah.
future. Keep me updated. You know I like the gossip. Let me know how you get on. And
I
thank you for
definitely
coming
will.
on to the podcast.
You are very welcome.